bring a little word concerning just knowing your times and your seasons, and knowing and discerning in yourself the people that you need to be hanging around. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with the people, it's just they're not the people for you. Like, finding your people for the season that you're in is super, super important. And I found that in, my season, I'm a very deep, grounded person, and I really love time alone with the Lord. I need that. I learn about myself that shallow talk really drains the life out of me, drains energy out of me. And I've always been a person who analyzes and thinks a lot. And usually when I'm in a room full of people, or just at a table full of people, I do suss out what people are like, depending on what's coming out of their mouth. What are they talking about? Because whatever they're talking about is what is the thing that they desire, whatever it is. And obviously myself, I really am drawn to people of depth and good godly conversation. Like, I love to have joy, but my joy comes from the Lord. And I think when you've been drawn deeper into the Lord, there's this feeling of a dissatisfaction, and you can't just hang around lukewarm people or just worldly people, or you just know when people aren't your people, because you walk away and you discern that you didn't really feel like you were poured into, or you don't feel like alive on energy or life. There are people that I love and they're good people, but I don't want to spend time with them. Like, I don't want to sit down and invest my time with them. And as harsh as that sounds, the right people who are hearing this message are going to really, really understand when you're in the specific season where God calls you deeper. You need to be around people of the Word and people of the Spirit. And there'll be those people out there who are like, oh, you're so hardcore and serious all the time. And it's not. Like, I'll have a good laugh with people who are genuine, people that I can trust. There's a whole level here. I don't just let any old person into my life and into my relationships. And I will always discern whether I really want to go and hang out with a group of people, just because I know that God's calling me into a season where I'm really focusing on Him and focusing on studying, and I'm actually being prepared for something. And when you're being prepared for something, it means that you can't just always hang out with a bunch of random people all the time and just have surface level conversations. Like, God is trying to connect you to the people who are going to help you run your race. And there are people for seasons and times, and that's why it's so important to discern the times and the seasons that you are in. And I definitely have felt in my life there are some people, I've always felt drawn to people of depth and I am a person of depth, so people like that are also drawn to me, and you usually are drawn to what's similar to you. And right now in my season, I am definitely just filling my cup with people who are women and men of the Word and women and men of the Spirit is really, really important for me and my life, and where God is leading me is really, really important. And also to discern certain relationships. There's some friendships where you're the mentor, you're pouring into them, and some friendships are people who are older, more advanced, they're ahead of you, and you seek to be mentored by them. And in my life, it's like I've been through a lot, and I definitely seek depth and people who have been through hard things and come out victorious on top. Those people are people I really admire, look up to, and want to hang around. And so, sometimes you really got to audit your friends. You really got to audit your time. You've got to audit your life. And you'll know what I'm talking about. If that's you, God will start to rein you in these areas. And He'll just start to cause you to feel, certain ways about certain people, or just, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's not going to be a fulfilling thing. It won't fulfill you anymore. Stuff that once fulfilled you, conversations that once, used to laugh at and get joy out of, and you're no longer going to feel joy or that fulfillment out of those friendships or relationships, it's because God has moved you on. And that's okay. And people are going to be okay with letting things go and moving on and finding your people and finding, like I said, finding your people for the season that you're in. Okay? Not everyone is going to be running this race all the way to the end with you, and that's okay. You got to do you, and you got to stay true, stay honest, and stay loyal to the Lord first and foremost. But just being able to identify when something doesn't really serve what God is doing in your life, and going, you know what, they're a great bunch of people, but they're not my people, and I don't feel life when I come out of that place. So switch on. Like, the time is drawing near, ever so near, and you need to switch on and you need to switch in. Life is good and life is great, but if you're really serving the Lord, like, you actually want to do what he's asked you to do in this life, not just hang out on earth and just do what you want to do and have a good time. We actually want to fulfill the purpose that God has on our lives. So on that note, guys, I'm going to go do this gluten hammy session. Bless you all.